Okay, we're going to make the bishop, and to do that I'm going to open up the pawn, and similar to last time I'm going to save it as a new part. And this time the warning message didn't come up because I don't have an assembly open. So this makes it a little easier. I'll just save it as bishop. And we're going to do something slightly different. So now you can see we're bishop, normal to that original revolve sketch. Now, what I'm going to do here is last time I deleted all existing relations, and we're going to do that again. And I'm just typing into this command search prompt. So sometimes by default you're in Solidworks help and you just need to go to commands and display delete relations. We're going to select all of these. We're going to delete all of them. Hit OK. Now I'm going to do something different. I'm going to say fully define this sketch. Fully define sketch. All entities in the sketch. Calculate. Click OK. Now I cannot drag any point here or any line because it's everything is fully defined. It is what it is. So this will really help. Say I want to get rid of this arc and all of the and all of the associated dimensions. Awesome. I did that, and now I can do things like make this a little bit taller. I can't. Why is that? What are the references? Sometimes when I say overdefine, it overdefines. Equal radius or length of line 8. Well, this is, what's the name of this line? Well, what if I got rid of line 8 equal radius length? Okay, well, let's delete that reference, delete that other reference, and now let's see if we can change the length of this. Perfect, I can. And I'm going to add some height to the bishop, taller than the rook and the pawn. And so we're going to go for 3/16. And just 3/16. Boom, shows me up the decimal value. And recall I have this unit set up to 3, but you notice I select that 0.188. It shows me the full value right over here, 0.1875 or 3/16. Awesome. So now we need a nice arc going from there to there. There you go, that looks very bishop-like. And at the top of the bishop, we are going to have a little signet ball, and we can keep that perhaps the same radius as our other features. And then now you see I don't want this over here. I want to extend this line upward so I have a nice clean trim line. So on the other option of trim is extend. So boom, extended. That line is now extended. I'll click trim again and it goes back to its default trim tool, and I can trim there, there, there. Whoops, I didn't want to trim all that. I want to trim here and here. Okay, awesome. Now let's exit the sketch, see what happens. Hey, there it is. And that could stand to be a little larger there, a little more pronounced. So let's just get back into there and change this radius to, let's see what that does for us. And you notice it changed the radius of this arc, but that's fine. That's kind of an arbitrary, it's for cosmetic purposes. I don't need it to be an exact anything. So let's see how this leaves us. Alright, not bad. Not bad at all. So let's open up the assembly and put our bishop in it. Insert components, bishop, and like the other ones, mate, mate. Okay, and I can select these faces in either order, coincident. There we go. So now we have some pronounced height, and you know, when I'm looking around, any one of these planes, I can go normal to this plane right here. That's fine, I'll go normal to that, and then we can start to see that height difference. And I can go normal to this plane, and there you go. We're moving right along. Oh, except for the fact I put the bishop in the wrong place. So, let's go ahead and go into the mates of that bishop. Let's edit the concentricity. Okay, so you can see this face 1 of the board is concentric to face 2 of the bishop. Well, I want to edit where this bishop lives on the board, so I'm going to select face of board 1 and then just reselect another face. Oh, I will actually have to delete face 1 of the board and then reselect another face, and it moves right over. Cool. Now the bottom of it is still concentric to that face, but since all these coincident, the bottom of this bishop is coincident to this face here. Since all of these are at the same level, I don't really mind. However, just to keep things nice and clean, I will edit that. See how it highlighted the coincidence of that face and that face? So what I'll do is edit the coincident feature, delete the one of the board. Now I should be able to move this freely. I can't because it still recognizes coincident of the board. Let's go ahead and just delete the coincidence of the board now. There we go. I can select that and that. Okay, awesome. Okay, well, we can start creating the design for the knight, I believe. This one will be a little more complicated. It won't be all a revolve. There's some asymmetric of the horse head. So again, this time we'll just save the bishop as a knight, and remember I want to save a copy as an open and call it knight. Okay, save. Now it is totally a knight. Well, what we're going to do here, instead of working with this general revolve sketch, we're going to pick a side view here, and we're going to actually, there we go. See how our front plane perfectly divides that that chess piece, that bishop? Let's go normal to the front plane, and now while that's selected, I'm going to sketch. So now I am sketching on the front plane. Okay, awesome. Let's sketch out what we generally want to think of as sort of maybe an idealized knight's head. Okay, so I'll just start with a box, a rectangle. There we go. And you see how I hugged? I had to hover here for a moment so it remembered that, yeah, I want to be coincident with that point right there. Okay, and the snout might come out a little bit. Okay, let's do some sketch fillet. We're familiar with that. That's a little too much. Okay, and another sketch fillet. Only half of that. Let's just go half. Okay, and nah, let's click OK to the sketch fillet. Okay. Now I can drag this anywhere I want. I can't decrease that radius. That radius is pretty well locked in there. So let's just go undo. Let's delete that first radius. There we go. Now I can sort of freeform a little bit of what's going on, but we don't want to get too wild here. That actually is not bad. Let's go ahead and trim what we got. Okay, and let's capture back that geometry there. So you truly can really get to a point where you're truly sketching, I feel like. It might be nice to actually have a reference picture of a horse here. I'm kind of winging this one. But we're going for a simple and stylized approach to these pieces. And so I feel like we're going to be okay with what's going on here. So, in fact, I will bring down one more thing for the ears. Enter, enter, enter. I hit enter again to bring the tool back up. There. Now, we will trim that and that. Kind of have a horse head here with some ears. Let's see what this looks like when we want to just extrude these. Okay? Now, I'm going to extrude it up to a surface, see if that'll work. I don't think that'll work because it's all over the place. That's not going to work, but we'll see. Yeah, that's fine. Let's just do a blind extrude. And there we go. Okay. Not bad. Something about boss extrude, we want to go in two directions. So we're going to go direction 2, and we're going to match the distance, exact. And there you go. We have the beginnings of a night. So, a couple things that I want to do here is cut this down this way so that I have the shape of the snout. So we're going to sketch on this plane, then we're going to go normal to that sketch plane, and we're going to draw in some lines. I've got that one. I want the exact line to be over here, so I have a symmetrical cut. So what I'm going to do is, as a construction line, from this midpoint out to there, and now I'm going to mirror this entity, and I'm going to mirror about this line. Awesome. Now, I'm going to cut this area here, and that area here, and that, and that. So I have to sort of provide boundaries for those. So that's exactly what I'm going to do, is draw boundaries. Good. There, and there. Awesome. And let's do an extruded cut. And we need to select our contours. It's going to be that, 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 and that. And it's now, I think we'll be able to go up to surface. I want to cut them up to here. Hit OK. There we go. Awesome. Starting to look more and more like a knight. The body, I believe the body, the foot, and the neck can stand to be larger. And we don't need this area here to be on the revolve, and we don't need that to be on the head. So let's go back into our original revolve. We'll go normal to that. We will edit it. Remember, this is fully defined from when we did the bishop earlier. So let's see here. What is defining that line? Some of these dimensions go way too far down, so we can drag these up so we know what we're looking at. And we want to know what defines that line as being there in space. And it looks like it has tangency, coincidences, it's vertical. I don't know if it has a dimension to it or not. What is that defining? That's defining the point of that, the center of that arc. What is this one defining? That one's defining the point of that arc. What else we got? What else we got? Well, in this case, we could just go back to display delete relations and see what happens when we drag that out. Yeah, so let's do that. Display delete relations. Delete them all. Awesome. Now let's see what happens when I drag this out. Okay, interesting. Not bad. Okay, let's just see what we got here. There. There. What if we got rid of this one altogether? Yes, let's extend this line, trim what we don't want. Now if we want to put that back in, we can. Trim out what we don't want. Let's just see what this looks like. Okay, it's a little more robust. Still have a problem of this, so let's take care of that. So basically, we know that it's going to be over here, and I believe if we draw a vertical line from here up and then trim what we don't need, should be good. Feature sketch has a warning which may, let's stop and repair. This sketch comments dimensions or relations, okay, no problem. Okay, so this sketch was referencing something that we just deleted. Well, here it is. It's this point right here that no longer exists. So whoops, just delete that relation. And if we want to be really good about giving it some other context, let's say that that point and that line are coincident again. Okay, I'm okay with that. Exit. Okay. And it rolled back, so let's roll forward. We need to simply lop off that top. Now I could go back into the revolve, but it's going to be pretty hard to tell exactly where it is. So let's just sketch on top of this horse head, and let's go normal to that. And just go here, 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 and we're going to do an extruded cut that says I'm going to go through all, and I'm going to reverse the direction. Remember, reverse direction. See what we're left with. There we go. And we have a little bit of geometry here, so I'm going to do the same thing on this face. I'm going to sketch on this face. I'm going to go normal to it. This is a rectangle. Just do my rectangle tool, features, extruded cut, and we're going to go switch the direction, and we're going to go through all. Okay, and then that's cleaned up, and you notice it's nice I don't have any silhouette lines. So, and we can come back in later and put some snouts in here, and tell you what we will do now is we'll sketch on that plane and go normal to it and cut out the area for its ears. Okay, and let's just see what the distance here is. Let's just make it 50 thou, and we'll make the distance here 50 thou, and that comes at a diagonal. I've rotated, let's get back to normal. We need to cancel that coincidence so we can drag this line out. Perfect. It can go as far out as we want. Really, it just needs to be maybe, okay, I'm not going to be able to, let's see, if I select that line and this line and I say they're collinear, perfect. Okay, and then finally I think that I want to have some angle. It's not going to let me do that. It's not going to let me do that. Let's do this. Let's draw that line down at a given angle. Call it 21 degrees. And I can mirror this, or I could just draw another line down at a given angle of 21 degrees. Awesome. We're going to do an extruded cut, so let's trim away everything we don't need. There we go. Now it's that rhombus that we're going to cut through. Features, extruded cut. Okay. Same thing, we're going to go down to a surface, or up to a surface. It's going to be that surface. Oh, select my contours, that's why I'm not seeing a preview. And green check mark, there we go. Now we've got a horse with some ears. Not bad at all. Is it good enough for now? Let's throw it in the chessboard and see what it looks like. I'm not terribly impressed with this, so let's just save that. Control tab over to the assembly, insert a component, and just drag over. Let's mate it. Good. And good. And it looks like a mouse. So we're definitely going to have to work on that night. But for now, it's good enough. Our board is coming along. This is all just a little rough in the beginning. We'll do the finesses later on. And look forward to the next video when we do the king and the queen. Thank you very much.